Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Coding with Vinod. Today I am going to solve a Leetcode problem on March 7th. Problem statement is closest prime number in range. Closest prime number in range. All of you know what is a prime number. A prime number is a number in which it is divisible by itself and 1. A prime number is a number in which it is divisible by itself and 1. Itself comma 1. Okay, let's see the problem statement. Given two positive integers left and right, find the two integers nums1 and nums2. Here they have given some conditions. Left is less than or equal to num1, is less than num2, is less than or equal to num2. Right, both nums1 and nums2 are prime numbers. Let's first understand what is a prime number, and it is an important question in major of the interview questions. Let's understand what is a prime number. Previously I have said that it is divisible by itself and 1. It is divisible by itself and 1. Now, how computer can understand the prime number? How computer can understand the prime number? Here we have given some condition that it should be divisible by itself and 1. Prime number should be divisible by itself and 1. How can we tell it should be divisible by 1 and itself? Let us take a variable int count is equal to 0, which traces the number of divisible number. Let given number is n is equal to 7. Now we iterate from 2 onwards, because we iterate from 2 onwards. I is less than n, I plus plus. Already we know that 1 will be a prime number. We iterate up to n. We divide for if we keep a condition. If n is divisible by 2, increment the count. N is divisible by I. If n is divisible by I, we increment the value as count plus plus. We increment the value as count plus plus. After completing of the loop, if count value is greater than 2, if count is greater than 2, or else greater than or equal to 2, then it is not a prime number. Print of not a prime. If it is greater than, no. It is a pseudo code, my dear friends, to understand if a given number is prime or not. Else it is a prime number. It will be prime number. Hence it is a prime number. It is a small logic in which we keep trace of the count variable. Let us see, for example, n is equal to 3. For n is equal to 7. N is equal to 7. Initially count is equal to 0. Count is equal to 0. First we go on iterate from 2 onwards. Initially 7 divisible by 2, which is false. So no increment of count value. Next we keep 7 divisible by 3. No, it is not, false. 7 divisible by 4, false. 7 divisible by 5, false. 7 divisible by 6, false. 7 divisible by 7, we increment 1. It is less than or equal to 2. It is less than or equal to, count is less than or equal to 2. So it is a prime number. I think you have got the what is prime. How can we find the prime number or not? We iterate to I is less than or equal to n. I should be less than or equal to n. Now let us see the problem statement. There will be given two numbers of integer left and right will be given. Left and right. We should find out what are the prime numbers between left and right. Left and right. We should find what are the prime numbers in between these values. We should find prime numbers between this value. Condition 1 is this. Next condition is after finding the prime numbers, num2 minus num1 is the minimum amongst all the pairs satisfying the condition. Num2 minus num1 should be minimum. If suppose we take an example of given example, let's see the given example. Given example is left is equal to 10, left is equal to 10, right is equal to 19, right is equal to 19. What are the prime numbers between these numbers? 10, 19. Left, it is right. It is the brute force method. How can we approach to this problem? First we go through the brute force method. First of all we find the number of numbers, prime numbers in between left and right. We go, the prime numbers are 13, 17, 11, 13, 17 are the prime numbers. Here we have given another condition. Left is less than or equal to nums1, is less than nums2, is less than or equal to right. Here these two less than or equal to are important. We should consider left value and right value also in the given range. So left 10 is not a prime number, 10 is not a prime number, 19 is a prime number. So we include this. What are the prime numbers in the given range are 11, 13, 17, 19. We keep trace of this in the array list. Already I have said why array list, because operations in this array list become easier. That means adding, removing operations would become easier in the array list. So I prefer to the array list. Now we have seen the array list of 11, 13, 17, 19. Difference between these numbers should be minimum. The third condition is num2 minus num1 is the minimum amongst all other pairs satisfying the conditions. Now we find the differences. Here the difference is 2, here difference is 4, here the difference is 2. Difference should be minimum. So we have two minimum values. Which should we consider? We should consider we have two arrays which values are minimum. We should consider. For this, here they have given another condition also. Return the positive integers array is equal to nums1, nums2. If there are multiple pairs satisfying this condition, return the only one with the smallest num1 value. We should return the smallest num1 value. If no condition, smallest num1 value. We should include the smallest num1 value. If no numbers exist, we should return -1, -1. Now, I already have said how to find the prime numbers. We have discussed first step. It is a brute force method. First step is we find out the prime numbers. We find the prime numbers between the range. Between the range, we find out the prime numbers. We keep them trace in the array list. array list. If the array list size is let array list be array. It is a variable which is array list. Array list size is less than or equal to 1. We return minus 1 comma minus 1. We return minus 1 comma minus 1. If array list, third is, if array list size is greater than or equal to 2, we calculate the minimum value. Between two numbers. We calculate the minimum value of the two variables and we keep them in the answer array. And we return at last answer array should contain the size of 2. At last, after all completing of all these steps, we return answer. I think brute force method is clear to all. It satisfies all the conditions, but for the larger values it would become time limit exceeded for the larger value, because prime numbers, calculation of prime numbers, it takes of 114343 seconds, which is higher complexity. So what will be the optimized way to find out the prime number? Here the procedure is correct, but the procedure for finding the prime number is, for larger value. For smaller value it is correct, but for the larger value it is getting time limit exceeded. For this, to get optimized, we keep an array of boolean. Let array be the 7. Let n be the 7 of size n. Boolean array of size n means up to 6. We keep the size up to n plus 1. Let we initialize boolean array. In Java, declaration is boolean of array is equal to new boolean. It is initialization. N of size n plus 1. That means we keep 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, size 7. Initially in Java, all the array is filled with true. We fill using a inbuilt function called arrays.fill. If you want to fill the complete array list with our own value, we can type arrays.fill of given array comma true. We fill as true. Now initially we know that 0, 1 is prime numbers. 0 is neither a prime number nor a composite number. Not prime number, it is a composite number. 1, initially we fill 1 as false. That means it is a prime number. We treat it as a prime number. We go on start on iterating the values from 2 onwards. I have said that we are go on iterate through the number. If it is a prime number, we fill it as a false. Here we have a condition that we go on looping from I is equal to 2. One main point, friends, if for easier finding of prime number, for lesser complexity, I square should be less than or equal to num's value. It is a condition, because let's take example 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We only check up to I is less than or equal to root num value only. Root num value only. We go on check up to root num value only. Let's see why. I will explain here root num value. Because suppose I is equal to 0. I is 0 and 1 we neglect. We start from the 2. I is equal to 2. 2 is less than or equal to 2 is less than or equal to root 7. It is false, true. So we check for this condition. Now if we go to the next, it will check this condition. After I is less than or equal to root num, we directly we can check to the num value. We can check to the num's value. So this is the condition, my dear friends, for lesser complexity. If we want to optimize, then this is the good approach for finding of the num's value. Now if it is a prime number, if we iterate through the array, we call a function called is prime. We separately keep the prime as a function and we go on iterate through the value. If it is a prime, it will be kept as false. If it is a prime, it will be kept as false. In this range, these are the prime numbers. If given number array of given number is equal to false, then it can be said as prime value. Now let's discuss the problem solution. Here we have two slides for the problem answer. It is easy only, friends. Don't fear about this. I will explain it clearly. First, we start on, I have said we should find the what are the prime numbers from this range to nums1 range to nums2 range. It is first step. If it is a prime number, it goes to the, if it is a prime number, it will add to the array list. Given nums1 is equal to 10, nums1 is equal to 10 and nums2 is equal to 19. Here it checks the prime number and it appends to the array list or add to the array list. 11, 13, 17, 19 are the two numbers. It is the first step. Now we initialize answer array as -1, -1. For it is for optimized approach, so we initialize answer array as -1, -1. I have said earlier that if it is less than 1, if the answer dot length, array dot length, this is the array list of array variable. If array is less than 1, we return this answer only. If it is greater than 1, we check for the following conditions, like it should be minimum of these values. For this, it is clearly given that I think all of you know how to find the minimum number between two numbers. After some days, I will explain some basic questions on Java language, like swapping of number and finding of the minimum number, like prime number, LCM of the number. I will plan accordingly to this. Now understand, it is to find out the minimum value. It is to find out the minimum value of the two values in the array. It is 2. We go on update the minimum value. If it is minimum, we keep trace of this nums1 and nums2. This get is to get the number. It is an inbuilt function in the array list to get the number at the preferred index. It is to find out get the value at the preferred index. We go on iterate through the array and find out the minimum values. 4. This is the 2. Here minimum difference value is here, both in these conditions we get the same value, as 2 2, but previously min value is 2, and goes on update the answer array list as 11 comma 13, answer array list as 11 comma 13. At next step, min value is again 2. It doesn't satisfies the condition, and it falls the condition, and it goes to the next number. Since I is less than or n minus 1, it completes the iteration through this loop and returns the answer array. What is the answer, my dear friends? Answer is 11 comma 13. Let's see if the answer is correct or not. Answer is 11 comma 13. Here for example 2, let me explain another example of example 2. Here given left as 4 and right as 6. Now we iterate through the left to right and append the array list prime numbers with prime numbers. In this range we have only one prime number in this, that is 5. We have only 5. Here we can see that array dot size is array dot length, the function is length is less than 2. So we return answer is, we have initially minus 1 comma answer as minus 1 comma minus 1. Now here, see here, we initialized answer as minus 1 comma minus 1, answer as minus 1 comma minus 1. Now let's see whether the answer is correct or not. Answer is minus 1 comma minus 1. Whether it is correct or not. It is correct, my dear friends. I think this brute force method, and first for every problem go through the brute force method. After brute force method we go to the optimized. In this I have clearly explained how the intention to build brute force method and how can we convert the brute force method into the optimized method. That's all, my dear friends. Subscribe to my channel for greater updates. Press the bell icon behind the subscribe button. Thank you, my dear friends. Share this channel to your friends. Thank you. We'll meet you on the next day. Thank you.